Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Vladimir Putin is again the president of the Russian Federation in a landslide victory. I will have here about 15 articles just to discuss the titles. We're going to have the final results of these elections that occurred in the Russian Federation. We're going to have the Western leaders fuming because the elections in Russia were quote-unquote illegal and illegitimate. And Putin, on the other hand, gets congratulations from the rest of the world. So we have a few countries that say, we are better than everyone else. And the rest of the world says, well, maybe we see things differently. But hey, let's go with this little, how should I put it, little trip into Russia's elections. So let's start with this article first. So we got the numbers. These are coming from the Russians themselves, because you do not need your neighbor to tell you what to do. You do your own thing in your own family. Okay, so if the neighbor doesn't like it, why do you care? Okay, all right, so the same. Let's go with the Russians talking about themselves. That is their country. Remember, here, Sputnik, Russian presidential election results. And we have here process ballots, 99.94%. Turnout, 77.44%. Vladimir Putin, independent, 87.30%. So 87. Nikolai Karitonov, Communist Party, 4.32%. Vladislav Davankov, New People, 3.83%. Leonid Slutsky, Liberal Democratic Party of Russia, 3.20%. I think all these guys would be fair to say that they polled higher than the main Russian opposition leader, Navalny. Correct? I mean, if you make a little calculation, all we know that he got about 27 or something percent, 23, 27 in Moscow. In 2012, I think it was, 2012, 2013. Well, he didn't have a chance to do it nationally, but nevertheless, here it is. According to Russians, Putin won again with 87.30. Did this election occur illegally? Did it follow the constitution, the Russian constitution, which is what the Russians care, not the US constitution or the American written German constitution. I mean, not written, no, they care about their own constitution. Their own constitution says, yeah, it was legitimate. Now, are there, how should I put, irregularities? Always. There are irregularities. If they're big, then things become a little bit of a different magnitude and problems. So here we have Russian election. Let's go now and look at how these guys are just foaming at their mouth. And let's start first with the Westerners. Reuters, Putin wins Russia election in landslide with no serious competition. All right, well, they say that because we have these guys winning with all these things. There are three parties, so it's already it's one more party here than the Americans have. So I think it's more democratic than America, since having three options instead of two. And here is the fourth option. So I think already we have diversity is our strength. So from that point of view, Reuters and the garbage should shut the fuck up. All right. Now, it doesn't mean that if you have diversity, necessarily, the options are better or it was not rigged, but that we don't know that. All we know, we have a few people who don't like certain kind of other people and say, this is what happened, this is what happened. Yeah, irregularities occurred all over the place, but in the United States of American elections. Got that? All right. Now let's move on. This is just a general, this is a mild beginning. All right. So let's go to the next article. Associated Press. Putin extends a rule in preordained Russian election after harshest crackdown since Soviet era. Now, obviously, the guys from Associated Press, they don't like the fact that they're not in charge of the Russian Federation anymore, or Soviet Union. Remember, they were great after 1918, and then after that they their role and their power in the how do you call it, in the fate of the Russian people decreased greatly, and they were kicked out one by one, fled to London, pim pim pam pam, and New York. All right, so obviously they're upset with that. So Putin extends rule. Was an election? Yeah. Is that the Russian election? Yeah. Can we talk about it? Yeah. Can we lie about it? I will not. They can. They did before, and they will do it again. So, preordained, he was the most popular guy continuously. I mean, since when? Did he get 87? Well, he got almost as much as Joe Biden, if I remember correctly. Oh no, he didn't get 87. Oh, because these guys rig elections. We don't. We are just the purest thing. I mean, that's a fact. Now, harshest crackdown since Soviet era. The evidence is a few statements coming from some people. Okay, move on. Next one. This is Radio France International or something. I know I took it from a French media outlet. I think it was, no congratulations from France's Macron to Putin for his re-election. Do you think Putin gives a fuck? You're one guy in a country where you signed the pension reform on your own. So don't talk to me about democracy, France. Macron, legally, that tells me the whole system is rigged, by himself took the pension reform and he signed it. He bypassed any vote in the, not that the vote would have changed anything in the French assembly, I think it's called Grand Assembly or something, like the parliament. So Macron bypassed the vote of the people and said, no, one person, moi, I will do that for you guys. So France, rub one for me, or two or three, or how many you want, okay? And this is one. I'm going to show you another imbecile that is not going to congratulate him. I'm going to show you more than that, right here. Germany's Steinmeier says he won't be congratulating Putin. Putin doesn't give a fuck. Okay? I guess further. EU Borrell. This is the foreign minister, unelected foreign minister, or chief of the foreign affairs of the European Union. Russian election not free and fair. My first question. You were never, as far as I remember, in the European Union elected, Borrell. So you're just a, how do you call that? A little mouse, let's put it nicely. You're just a bureaucrat, that's all. So yeah, you can have your assessment or opinion, not free and fair. Why? Have you seen how many people voted over there? That was free. Fair in what way? Because your guy did not win. Let's move on. Let's move to the next article. And here you have the entire picture. West decries Putin's landslide election win. China congratulates him. Now, China with 1.5 billion people, I think it's almost, more than the West together. So, I don't know. Now you can say, well, China is this, China is that, which I agree, but it's still a country. Has the same value at the United Nations as the so-called West, because they say West decries, like it's a monolithic West, the whole guys. Now, why would these guys care what the West says? And the obvious answer would be because we are democracies. Are we? Are we? Well, let me tell you about the US democracy a little bit. Remember Alan Gore, George W. Bush, remember the first one when George W. Bush won? You remember the Florida elections? Maybe the young people don't remember what happened over there. They started recounting the votes in Florida to determine. So Florida, whoever took that little state was the next president, Biden, Al Gore, or George W. Bush. So they started recounting, I think, because they said that's fraud, that something happened over there. On the other side, it never happened, something like this. Remember, this was in 1990s? Was it? No, it was in 2001. In 2000, because in 2001, what's his name, Bill Clinton got out of office, and this illiterate with Harvard degree and Yale. That's why when you tell me Yale and Harvard, I'm like, why? I have examples like Obama, Michelle Obama. I have George W. Bush as a best example. He was at Yale, Ivy League school, and at Harvard, and just listen to him. All right, that's what it is. So if who won the Florida would have become the president, and then it was the Supreme Court who ordered stop the counting of the votes to really know who the hell won, because to save the system. Now that's U.S. democracy. Now what I would do, or you, I want to find out how people vote. All of them. I don't care. Oh, stop the counting. We're good with the result as it is. There's not justice. There's not democracy. Democracy is, the will of the people. I want to know how people voted. So that's one that happened in 2000. Because in 2001, he became president, if I remember correctly. So since 2000, you could have, maybe this process here is not really as they say it is. Just to give you an example. I'm not going to go to the next elections, okay? No. So here is one example. So when I say West decries, I gave you Macron example, and I can give you other examples. But that's good as it is. But somehow we, and I was also, how should I put it, propagandized since childhood that the Western democracy is the democracy. I don't think so. I think it's better than others. But on the other hand, the United Nations, you still have countries. It doesn't say that a democratic country or a country that uses the democratic system to elect its leaders is better than, let's say, a country that is not. I've never seen this in the United Nations. So when they go over there in the National Assembly, or if I go into the Security Council where you have China, one party system, I don't think it says China has less of a vote than, let's say, United States of America. On the contrary, both have veto power. Why? So again, when I say the West, is like you always wait for the West to approve of your election. And the Russian says, they said many times, we have our democracy, you have your garbage democracy. And that's it. And besides stopping the votes from finding out what happened, what is that? Just? I don't think it's just. Let me give you a small example. It's a little bit related, but I'm just going to show you how some people may be frustrated. I still remember that, but let me tell you. So when I was a young boy, I used to fight a lot. And I was practicing judo. People familiar with judo, there's throws, grabs, sweeps, and so on. So I was fighting a bigger guy in all aspects, age, size, and so on. So he got me from behind, and he started, not like that behind, he started punching me in the face, okay? With judo, all I needed is to grab him. So he was punching, he punched me. He got we call it in Romania, robinet. You know what a robinet is? When you go and turn on or turn off, let's say the gas pipe or something, you pull it out and you put the fingers in, and you have those metals. So he hit me with that in my face a few times, so you can imagine. And I grabbed him. And when I grabbed him, I can't remember what technique I did. I threw him down. He was scrambling. I got on him, put my knees on his arms right here. So his head, and I was ready to hit him. And there was a lot of people around. It was in the school building. And as I was about to provide retribution, that is counting the votes, someone grabbed me from here and got me out, a teacher. Now, I would have fucked him up. He was dead right there. It was my retribution. After that, the next day, I was bruised. He didn't have anything. So who won? Nevertheless, I tell you this. I still remember that. But I'm just telling you, they didn't let the votes to be counted. They didn't let the fight to end, which I would have ended it right there. I was on top of him. He couldn't move, and I was getting ready for. I don't think I even threw one punch on his face. I was ready. The teacher got me, got him, and da-da-da. And the next day, look at him and look at his face. So I lost. Anyway, so the same here. Let things go all the way and find out who's who, what's what. Because the next day people say, well, we won. People don't remember what happened to Florida and Al Gore and George W. Bush. I do. And older people, I'm pretty sure, or smart people, also remember. So let's move on. Let's go to the next one. China congratulates Putin. Okay, now let's go and analyze this thing right here. From Barron's, this is from Agence France Presse. Western leaders dismiss Putin's illegal poll victory. Why was it illegal again? Why is it illegal? And again, but Western leaders, that's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, not 30. Maybe there are 30, I don't give a shit. Why would the Russians care about 30 countries and don't care for the rest 160? Well, after all, right, we have 193 countries on this planet. Why would these guys matter? Because as I told you, when I was a kid, I was indoctrinated with the West is better, the West is this, the West democracy, the West PR. When I got here, I said, nah, it is a little bit of a nuance. Better? Yeah, it is better because these guys are a little bit more, how do you call that? Some of them take your money in a civilized, cold way, nicely, legally. Over there, they go and snatch it. Just only different. But you, at the end, the outcome is the same. You got without your taxes and your money. The other guys say, give me the money. And these guys are, IRS, please do that. Otherwise, we're going to come and get it from you. All right. But hey, better here? I think so. This is a mirage more than over there. Things over there are more naked. Don't we like that one? So let's go to the next article. This is from the source now. Agence France Presse. Western leaders dismiss Putin's illegal quote-unquote poll victory. Now, they put illegal because what is illegal? What was illegal? What's illegal? Putin did not was not a candidate illegally. He didn't run illegally. What was illegal about? But they put it over there, quotation mark. Tomorrow when you go to work, ask your idiot co-workers, hey, was it the elections in Russia legal? And they will all tell you, those guys, it was illegal. Why? Because they were told so. If you read the media, the titles, the headlines, they're almost all of them illegal, illegitimate, in quotation mark, like almost, but people will miss that one. Why? Because they're baboons. So ask tomorrow, and in, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they will know that those elections in Russian Federation were rigged, were illegal. They will know. And if you ask them why and how, this is going to be their answer. Well, you know, come on. Why? Putin is a good guy. They're going to change it. Again, you're going to say, why? Oh, he invaded Ukraine. Why? Because he's just crazy. These are the arguments that you're dealing with adult body with child brain. People that you go around. I met numerous of them. A great majority of baboons. Remember, if you don't, I tell you. I came to this little analogy or visual. We as humans, or most of our compatriots, are 1 inch, 2.5 centimeter above the baboons. That's where these guys are. They can fall right there, just like this. Yeah, you see them driving nice cars, or maybe dressing nicely, or maybe being very verbal and very articulate, like Obama, very articulate, or others, big houses. We are given 1 inch above. That's all we're given. It's up to us to work harder, to go further, to get further away from the 1 inch. Just look around how people behave. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. So again, illegal poll. All right, and we're gonna go to another one. Just so I make a point. Western leaders denounce Putin's illegal election win as allies send congratulations. Now again, this is Agence France Presse. It's taken by Raw Story. Again, this Agence France Presse, right? This is Western dismiss, again, taken by Agence France Presse, Barron's. So these guys took Agence France Presse and they dismiss it. When you're going to read, oh, Barron said that. Yeah, look at that. Oh, Agence France Presse said that. Oh, of course, Oh, Raw Story said it. You don't read right here. This is from Agence France. The same shit. It's like an order. Like they don't have their own opinion? People to write for them? No. Move on to the next one. DPA International. China congratulates Putin after landslide win in fraught elections. Why fraught? Why? Well, because Gigi, Michael, Tom, and Gina don't like it, and you have Ivan, I don't know, Svetlana, and who knows whom, they don't like this guy, which is okay. Not everyone likes Putin. Sorry to break the news for some, but that's the reality. And these guys are focusing only on that one, but it's fine. China, which continues to stand by Moscow, while other countries, like how many, have turned their backs on Putin. How many? A minority, I would say. But it's the Western, the good countries, right? It's the Western countries. Next one, and the last article. Ukrainska Pravda, China, bad people, right? Iran, bad country. North Korea, bad. Uzbekistan, bad. All these guys are not lovers of democracy. Democracy made like this. I have the money. I own that station. I give the politician campaign donations. And then the people that are appointed are going to write the policies and I also have the media as the guys in Hollywood, and I have everything I need. The guys in the intelligence community and the military are on my side because money is important. And there you have it. This is democracy in the West. You think I'm exaggerating? I mean, how dumb you must be not to see what happened in, let's say, 2016, 2015, 2016, 2020. So these guys congratulate Putin. So all these guys together have more people than the Western countries. Just people, and what? Few countries, 4 countries. I mean, just look at this. And I'm waiting for India to congratulate him. Congratulate Putin on election again, quote unquote victory. All right, so let's move on and see here. Iran, let's see who else. Is anybody else here? No. Remember here, Borrell is unelected. These guys first have to make sure that they're sovereign and independent, which they're not. So we don't give a fuck how you will do it, Steinmeier. First, you're not independent, okay? You have foreign troops on your territory, your economy is grabbed by the balls, and your media is owned by the same guys who are crying that they're not in charge of the Russian people anymore. That's the whole point in a hatred campaign towards the European Putin. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.